Alright, hello everyone. Today I really don't have a whole lot going on. I'm gonna do a little bit of practicing, warming up, and then here in a little bit I'm gonna go teach some marching band at Keller High School. It's their first day of school today, so all they have is outdoor rehearsal from 4:30 to 6:30. We might actually be in the indoor stadium just because I think it's gonna be a little too hot. But yeah, all I've really got planned today is a little bit of practice, a little bit of editing, and I also want to catch you guys up on what we've got coming up this semester. Alright, so that's warm-up done. I didn't take a whole lot of time to do that, only about 20 minutes, and got the things I wanted to done. I generally try to let the warm-up not take up too much time, especially if I know that I don't have a whole lot of time to practice and need to get on to rep and etudes and stuff like that. So today I just did some scales, as you heard, some articulation stuff, and some long tones. I generally try to stay with those three things every single day, and I expand upon them, maybe add some overtones, other things, if I do end up having more time. Like I said earlier, I did want to talk through what's upcoming this semester, as it's going to be extremely busy, and honestly in a very different way than it was last year. There were so many like class-centric homework, new instruments, and just like general other teaching stuff that had to do with classwork that was taking up a ton of my time last year. This year the class load is going to be a little bit lighter. However, saxophone playing is going to take up a lot of my time. Before we get on to that, I did want to show you something. So I wanted to show you this. You might see this is just a normal leg and wrist saver that I put on my soprano. I'll show you how it goes on in just a second. If you don't know what this is, I do have a video talking about the leg and wrist saver if you are interested, so go check that out. Another video plug, if you haven't watched my Sugru palm key video, I DIY with some like super glue putty stuff, made some palm keys for my alto saxophone, and the other day I actually added some Sugru, if you can see here, I added some onto the leg and wrist saver. So we're gonna test this out today and see if this works. The problem that I was running into, my thumb was riding on this like hard, rough edge of the Yamaha thumb rest, and I could have gotten a new thumb rest, which I still might do, but I wanted to try this out and see if this works. So later when we get to practicing, we will test this out and see how this works. I'm currently at the University of Texas at Austin, going to my 4th year, so my final year here at UT for my undergrad, and I'm doing a degree in music education. However, in the future, I do want to pursue a master's in saxophone performance. I'm going to be pretty transparent with this, which some people like to gatekeep this stuff, but it doesn't really matter to me. I'll be auditioning at UNCG, Illinois, Northwestern, and UT. I might add 1 or 2 more, but so far that is where I'll be auditioning. So I gotta get on some grad school applications. That's gonna take up a good amount of my first chunk of the semester. And then pre-screens, those are due December 1st for all of these schools. So I'll need to be working on those, recording a bunch of repertoire. You've already seen me working on some of this stuff in live streams. Yeah, it's gonna take up a lot of my time. But like I said, it's a lot of saxophone-centric stuff. Lots of repertoire that I have to learn and perfect so that I can record it and be done by December 1st. So there's gonna be a lot of grad school prep. If you have any questions about any of that, the process, auditions, stuff like that, leave those in the comments down below and I will get to those as soon as I can. This summer has been a nice break of kind of everything. I haven't had like a ton of obligations. I've done a good amount of teaching, which has been a lot of fun and pretty eye-opening. Other than that, it's nice to practice whenever I want to, but not feel super obligated. I definitely am gonna have to go like full throttle in the next few weeks just to get caught up and back into the swing of things, but this summer fueled me in a very good way. The other thing that I've spent a lot of this summer, as you can tell, because you're watching this video, is I've done so much content, and it's been very nice getting back into the swing of things, being super consistent with it. I've pretty much gotten a video out each and every week, and we actually started doing live streams. If you haven't tuned into one of those, make sure you do that. I'm gonna try and keep doing those weekly. The content is something that I have a super big passion for, and it's just a nice creative outlet other than this thing to do and spend my time with. The goal is to stay consistent for the rest of the semester, even though every semester up until now, I have always stopped posting at the end. I'm gonna try and keep that up. I've sort of batch recorded a few videos that you'll see coming out in the next few weeks that will be in this room, even though I will be in Austin. Now that I've warmed up a little bit, I'm gonna take a break and edit a little bit before I have to go to marching band. Like I said earlier, I batch recorded a few videos yesterday. I recorded a articulation video and an altissimo video, sort of along the same lines as my 5 tone exercises video. I'll link that up above if you haven't seen that. usually try to edit a video over a few different sessions, but usually once I get into the swing of things, I try and just finish it out. All right, that is going to be it for editing today. Not a super long session. I got a good amount done in this video. Editing is one of those things for me that takes a while for me to like get going, but once I get into like that flow state and everything's going super well, I really enjoy it. It's probably one of my favorite parts of the creative process. Probably my least favorite thing is like the filming of it, especially like vlogs like this. I always struggle with just like a format of it. Other videos where there's like a very defined format, I have a good idea of how that's gonna work out, especially as we get into the edit. But a vlog sort of like this video, I'm just kind of filming and we'll see how it ends up. All right, it's time to get ready for marching band. Rehearsal starts at 4:30, so I should start getting ready now and leave soon because this is the first afternoon rehearsal right after school. I figured the school's gonna be super chaotic, so we might as well try and get there early. I'm gonna try and edit up some crazy transition. All right, all ready to go. Changed clothes a little bit. Figured I would wear white so that the sun doesn't get to me. Repping the UT hat, hook 'em horns. And then what else do we got? Some sunglasses, some sunblock. Make sure you wear your sunscreen. Don't get skin cancer. I've got to go fill up my water bottle. But other than that, we're pretty much ready to go. I was trying to think of what else I have to tell you guys for this upcoming semester, and I have a few things. I'll save one of them for later because it's super exciting. We do have a lot of quartet stuff coming up. We're starting 4116 Season 2. We're adding a bunch of repertoire to the stuff we already have. We're keeping a few things. I think it's the first week of school. We're actually invited to go perform as a featured quartet at the Brookhaven Sax Day. Sax Day up in Dallas that Ben was a part of when he was a student, our alto player. So that's super exciting. We're playing about a 25-minute program. I think some Dwalm, some Desinclo, and They Might Be Gods, Lachinsky. I'm gonna hopefully vlog that whole day, so there will be a video coming out about that. We'll obviously have a lot of recording sessions in the fall just to get ready to submit for stuff at the end of the year, and then once we get into the new year. This last year, I think we rehearsed about 10 hours a week, 2 hours every single weekday, and then every once in a while we had to make up a rehearsal on the weekend. This year, I think we're gonna tone it down, scale it back just a little bit, and try to just rehearse 8 hours. We're better players now, we're a better group together, so I don't think that should be a big issue. We've done our best to try and learn some of this repertoire on our own this summer, so that when we come together, once the school year starts, we'll be ready to go. Let's go to marching band. All right, I did lie. On the way here, I realized I had to get my dry cleaning, so I got that. Oh, here we go. So I did have to pick up my dry cleaning. I try and do that every time I start a new semester just so I can get all my dress clothes and recital clothes nice and clean. Like I said, we're about to go to marching band rehearsal. I'm teaching at Keller High School up in Fort Worth, Texas. I have been a marching tech there for the past 3 years, so again, it's cool to see them get better every year. Hopefully I'll film a little bit, probably not much. We will wait and find out once I get there. All done with band. It was a hot rehearsal. We were actually outside for the first hour or so, and then we moved inside to an indoor stadium which has no ACs, so it's still pretty hot. Still way better to be in the shade. I'm gonna go home, shower, maybe practice a little bit of soprano. So I'll catch you guys there. See ya. Boom, we're back. All right, had a good marching rehearsal. Second to last day on the job. It's been such a fun summer band. It's way less work than it is fun. I did promise you guys that we would test out this leg and wrist saver with the added Sugru. I'll test this out for a little while, and then I'll tell you guys some more exciting stuff that's coming up this semester, including some of the classes that I'm taking. I haven't played a lot of soprano over the last few days, been playing more alto just to let the Sugru dry, but I went over here to my shelf to grab my soprano Ligature, and really need to get a better system for organizing some of this stuff, because I have a bunch of new cases that all look the same. I have no idea whether it's soprano or alto. So let's look at my case and see if it's in there. There it is. So for those of you who don't know what the leg and wrist saver, it was an invention in order to expand out the right thumb. Instead of being like this, you open up more like a C shape, sort of like the alto saxophone. I find that it actually widens up the hand even more than an alto, which is super nice. Initial thoughts, I am not entirely sure I like this. I'm probably gonna have to take it off. It's a little bit too bumpy in one centralized location, so I think I just need to either file it down a little bit. It's definitely better than the sharp edge, so overall a good idea. Poor execution, I think. Might change it around a little bit. We'll see. right, so practice done. What you were listening to is a little bit of the Elliot Del Borgo quartet first and second movements, I think. I think it's the first and second movements are required for the NASA quartet competition, which my quartet's doing. That's a whole nother thing that as part of this coming semester is prepping for that competition. It happens every 2 years at the biennial conference, which this year it's at Ohio State in the spring. Excited to get working on music for that. And then the other thing you heard was the Lachinsky They Might Be Gods. Dr. Page has a great recording of that if you want to go listen to that. Zizix. So in terms of classes, my class load's actually pretty light. I have band, which is 6 hours a week. I only get 1 credit hour for that. I'm going to try and take grad level theory, and then I'm doing percussion methods. That's finishing out my music ed part of the degree. I'm actually going to take a intro to jazz improv class, so we're doing that. And then I'm also taking a bassoon one-on-one lessons with the bassoon TA. Be on the lookout for bassoon content. I've now taken lessons with all the woodwind TAs, so I'm looking forward to that. Some exciting news that's come up in the last week are there are 2 openings in 2 different military bands, and those auditions will take place at the end of this semester and then the beginning of next. So I've already had to start looking at excerpts and all that just so I can submit pre-screenings. The first one is due in the middle of September, and that's for the Pershing Zone Ceremonial Band. So I'll be taking that, submitting a pre-screen. That's a big long packet, a little bit more jazz than I'm used to. And then the other one that just came out yesterday is the West Point Barry spot, which I knew about because I went to the West Point Tenor audition. So yeah, it's going to be quite a busy semester. Lots of saxophone playing, as you see. Got auditions for military band, grad school auditions. I'm working on UT band audition rep right now. So much saxophone playing. And on top of that, I'm trying to build a little bit of a saxophone studio myself. Very excited for this coming semester. I hope you've enjoyed this video, sort of like vlog-like content. Leave a like down below. If you aren't subscribed, go ahead and do that. Let me know what you thought about this sort of thing. I hope to do a few day in the lives or week in the lives maybe, if that's something that you're interested in once we start up school. But my life is pretty boring right now because we're in the summer. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.